Hello.
Woo!
Hi.
Woo!
Welcome to
Crank that cranky boy, and yo, I say to you.
movie reviews, an offshoot of the Anything Bowl. We're gonna keep it short, 15 minutes. Where it's in the fucking title, man. It's a movie review. We're talking about
review, nice and easy.
Fast X, probably the worst title for a movie that I've seen in at least like the last 4 or 5 years. It's a horrible title, but
It's a horrible movie too.
Was I?
We'll get into it. Yeah, I wish I could do a vlog.
Oh my god,
but I
man.
can't for certain reasons.
That's
so let's
right.
just say we saw the movie in ways that we enjoyed it, and it was a good time. Yes, Fast X, Dom Toretto, the family, Jason Mimosa, my brother, no, Jason Momoa, aka Dante, is trying to ruin the family in this movie here, as he essentially puts him through a living hell, because it kind of turned into one of those action movies that's, I got you, Dom Toretto. Wait a minute, no, I didn't. Okay, now I got you. I was another step ahead of you because that you were supposed to do the stupid thing. And it was a good time. Now, Migo, overall thoughts, opinions. What do you think of the story?
I think everything about this movie is ridiculous. All right, everything that you expected to be stupid and unnecessary and over the top is exactly what happened. But I loved it. It's not even that it was this super great movie, man. I just had fun. Timmy and I were just talking about it. It was just a fun time. There's no sense of realism. There's no sense in somehow this being still the same franchise that it was in 2001.
Yeah.
The title's horrible.
It's
I hate
terrible.
the poster. It's basically just Vin Diesel being Vin Diesel for 2.5 hours. But
family.
Jason Momoa was hilarious.
He was.
Dante was great. I think it does totally deserve that 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. But
hey, man.
I mean, listen, man, it was fun. $319 million at the box office. That's pretty good.
It's not bad. And you know what? I do agree. I think that it really was like, this was just Vin Diesel's movie. I feel like ever since, I mean, 8 really, it's been his movie, and it's just not disappointing, I don't think, but it's more so like there's a good cast, and I just kind of wish that it got highlighted a bit more. I feel like a lot of the time it just puts to the sideline, because you have this great roster, because like you have like
the family continues to get so much more bloated, but you spent the least amount of time with them in this movie.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, like, you got Jason Statham, you got Luda, you got Roman, you got like all these cool characters. You got of course, like everybody doing their own thing in a lot of ways. And that was another problem I had too. Like, they focused a lot on Dom, but then it would just take so many sidetracks. Like, because 1 second, there was just a lot of problems with it, So I think overall, I think the character usage was kind of really bad.
It was incredibly just unbalanced. That's all it was.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think story-wise it was all over the place. Character-wise it was all over the place. And I do think that visually though, although a bit dated, it was a good time. My only complaint,
I like the color palette a lot.
Color palette was cool. I think it's a lot better than the harsh blues and grays that we had going on. This is like a lot more vibrant colors going on. Mm-hmm. The story kind of starts out essentially with the family going on this false mission. Was that?
He said, "Let's go back 10 years. Fast 5. What's going on?"
Yeah, for real. And it's like, of course, let's draw it out. And you see that Dante's character essentially is put in this with what was that guy's name? Rayan Hernandez, I think that's his name, right? Old drug dealer that the family was messing with.
Reyes, yeah.
Reyes, dad. But he was his son. He went crazy. He went loco, and that's the reason why he wants to fuck with Dom's family. Because he's like, you killed my father. Don't look for your son. Ballet move. It's just a fucked up time, dude. But yeah, man. I think for what it lacked in a lot of story, made up in action for sure. So I was here for it.
I can definitely say it's not the worst one.
Yeah.
I could say that wholeheartedly.
I mean, is one of the worst, but it is not the worst.
It's in the lower half.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's not even the worst one in the last like 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the past 5 years? Yeah, in the past 5 years now. It's definitely not the worst. We'll get it more into it, like with the tier list and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Tier list comes out in what, a day? 2 days?
Something like that, yeah.
So excited for that.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I got to be honest, though. I really don't have much to say past that because it's almost like, for me,
it's surprising for something so loud and bombastic, it feels so bland at the same time.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know? And it's honestly a shame because I think for the budget and everything that it had going with this movie, it just felt kind of bland, you know? So in that regard, I think I kind of left a little disappointed. There's some redeeming characters, you know, and like all this sort of situation. Dante was a lot of fun. You know, I did like the comedy that Roman and Luda had going on. You know, it's nice to see Jason Statham for like, what, 4 minutes?
Oh, fuck, Pete Davidson, too. Pete
Davidson was like this back-end drug dealer in London. Well, drug dealer / hacker dude that they wanted to help. But, you know, and then
just refuses
I think the fight scenes were crazy. Those were good. I always found a good satisfaction. But they kind of felt basic, you know?
That Cypher versus Letty fight was really good. That I like that a lot.
That was all right.
You were like, oh, they're going to help each other. And she's like, no, I'm going to throw you through some glass.
That's the thing. I think if you take 90% of the movie, it just was blah, you know? However, I do think the ending was interesting. And I think it was interesting, but it was also stupid because I think the closer we got to the end was where we had a bit more like, we were looking at each other during the whole movie. Anything stupidly unreal. The thing is, it doesn't have to be based in realism. It's just the fact that it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ending, right? Well, close to the ending when they're having the final chase scene. And I was sad to see that, you know, Vin Diesel's brother, who's John Cena, which I don't know how you can convince anybody of that, dies. And then, of course, Dom just does the Nas
so
thing.
It's so fucking unexpected.
And it's kind of like an homage back to the first film where they always do that sort of shit, you know, with the shot that goes into the engine.
John Cena's death just comes out of nowhere, too. He's like,
it really didn't mean much.
Let me clear the way for you. And his car goes boom, and then it flips, and then it crashes, and then it explodes. And you're like, where was the weight there? I mean, like, yeah, you know, brothers, whatever.
Because he only had like really 5-6 minutes of on-screen time if you really count it out, in my opinion, personally. I mean, there was a couple cool... I mean, dude, let's... Again, even with John Cena, let's go back to that, right? It's like he's on the plane. He's taking Dom's son. He has to take him to safety in Portugal. What's happening? They're on a plane. Of course, you know, Dante's men are following them. They have to take a separate plane underneath the plane. How does it fuel, you might ask? 3 shooters of Smirnoff vodka. You know how ridiculous this gets at a certain point. And that's the thing. I think that's the reputation it has, but that's the thing. You either love it or you hate it. And I think that's the fascinating
it's still
thing
making money.
It is. So.
That's the problem. That's why Vin Diesel can turn around and be like, nah, man, this isn't the ending. This is the beginning of a trilogy. Because you have a weekend like this where every review you see is like, this is ridiculous. It's bombastic. It's over the top. And then it makes $300 million.
Yeah. And it's just, but you know what? They're just going to keep making them. Yeah. And that's why, again, I feel so disappointed because I want to talk about a lot more scenes, and there are a couple good scenes too. Like, again, even I do think that the bomb chase in the Vatican in the beginning was fantastic. I think
that was good.
But then again, after that, it just went down because it's like what we talked about. It was just 2 on a high note. And then if we go back to so we talked about how bombastic it is. So let's just talk about what it means in the ending, right? So the ending, what happens is Dante, who is essentially, okay, you used helicopters to try and smash me, but you're on this dam and I'm gonna kill you with these with these gas tanks. And then of course you have what's his face? I forget his name, with the rocket launcher up top.
You took my family, but you didn't take my car. And then you got the cars exploding and there's fire all around the car. And he goes, yeah, let me just open up the NOS. You know, that's a great idea. This highly flammable gas
going away
when I'm
from
surrounded
other highly
by fire.
Flammable gas.
And then he uses a dam as a ramp. And then he's with his son. And then he sees all this shit's about to come down on him. And he's like, let me just stand in front of my son and protect him. Because what are you going to do, Dom? You got superpowers already. You going to hold the dam? Or Is he gonna go back in time because he knows he can't stop it?
Dude, imagine they just make the Dr. Brown car machine at that point. I'd be fucking dead.
The Dr. Brown car?
That's the Dr. Brown car. Not the one with the nipple. No, the time car.
What?
Dr. Brown's a baby bottle brand. Anyway. That's what you get for raising your nephews and stuff, you know. You remember too much. But yeah. And then of course, you know, we had the post-credit scene and we saw Block Rob Johnson.
Dr. Fonson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, who's going to be returning, which obviously there's going to be a second part to this. If they make it 3 but I do agree with what you said. I think if they make it to a certain point, if the second one really bombs, which I don't think it is. I mean, listen, I think they don't have box office. It just came out. I bet it's going to do a lot of money though.
It's got weekend box office numbers already. It's just under 320 worldwide. Domestic is about 70.
What was the budget?
340.
Okay, they're going to break it in the next week or so. But it goes to show, you know? I mean, but I think at this point it's just a passion project for Vin Diesel that's just kind of falling flat. And I think for what it is, it just really lacks a self-awareness at this point. It kind of has in some moments where it realizes how ridiculous it is. Like in the scene in the beginning where they're talking about within the agency, saying how does he go to space twice? You know? So, unfortunately, we have to go see the next one when it does come out. Of course. But you know
what's crazy?
What?
$67.5 million opening, which puts it less than. Wow, it's actually the lowest opening since 4.
Wow. It's only going downhill from here, folks. I don't know what to tell you. It's fucked. But you know what? It's okay. Because for what it is, it's an honest franchise. But some things have to die, baby.
And that's what makes it okay.
Exactly. And that's my thing. I mean, I think when we were in the theater, we were like shocked because it was like so many people there. But like we felt like they were more.
So many people fucking applauding too.
We felt like they were more into the movie than we were, which was crazy. So, you know, goes to show how strong the fan base is, how strong the Fast family is. If we're in the Fast family, I'm definitely like a second or third cousin. Like it's cool to go see once in a while, but not something.
Dude, my dad loved it.
I'm sure he did. You were telling me he's like a super fan. So
yeah,
you know. But I mean,
we were talking about
that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like there's people who find joy in it, and that's okay. And like if it's been around long enough, it's obviously doing something right. You know.
God.
Anything else to add, Miguel?
Nah, dude. I can't wait to do this tier list. This is what I've been looking forward to for.
It's gonna be a long fucking list, but you know what?
It is. But
it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. We're on all the socials. Hit the link in the bio. I don't feel like doing a full outro right now.
Yeah, we sleepy as hell.
We sleepy as fuck.
Check out episode 54. That was a couple days ago, and last week's SnackTime we did Hot Takes 3. It was a great time. It's time to look forward. Everything's about family.
Look forward.
Did you just throw up? Is that what that was?
I love you guys.
My tummy hurty.
Goodbye.